Hi, everybody. My name is Amy Cothran, and I want to bring to you the meeting that we had last night. This Blair School Board meeting on May 13th, 2024. Boy, I'm not in the right month or the right year. Okay, very long meeting, but the first thing that happened were the business girls, the girls that compete with DECA. They came and did a nice presentation for the board. Uh, then there were lots of gifts that were given. Back several meetings ago, we talked about the track and the purple exchange zones. The board had decided not to do those purple exchange zones because of the cost. Well, it seems as though Blair Community Schools Foundation has donated $20,000. And then there's an anonymous donor that has donated $5,000. And that's going to cover the cost of those purple exchange zones for the field. If you notice, I've got closed caption up here. When I was knocking doors campaigning this past week, I had somebody ask me to put closed caption on this recording. So just like when I said my name, it put something really funky. It didn't say Amy Cothran. See, that's not even my name, but it does the best it can. Okay, so the next gift was in the amount of $1,627.57 for the Nebraska FFA Foundation. Morgan Casper, the I Believe in a Future of Ag campaign. It's all to help that organization and that campaign. The money is from corporate sponsors based on how much was donated at the local level. Then we have the RT Masonry donation. Tyler Siki, District Activities Director, informed the RT Masonry would like to donate paint, an estimated $1,200 to paint the concession stand, the old concession stand at Cratsfield, not sure how it's pronounced. Family Fair donated $1,000 for a grocery store environment for the what do they call it? The ACP life skills to give some more hands-on training for those students in those classes. AKRS equipment donation. This is another $1,000 donation to the ACP life skills for setting up real learning situations for them. The FBLA National Leadership Conference is coming up this summer. That was approved. There's going to be 5 FBLA students going to it. It's going to be from June 27th through July 3rd. Then there was public comments. Then it went to the committees, but before I go there, let me go ahead and do what little bit I have on here. There are new teachers coming on board. Emily Jackson, this is kind of what I've been waiting for. Emily Jackson, Ott Middle School vocal music teacher. Lori Morrison, Ott Middle School grade 7 science. Lane Looters, I heard Lane Looters is back from my son, so obviously my son knows Looters, Mr. Looters. Ott Middle School guidance counselor, Isabella Janinski, Deerfield Elementary art teacher. They said that this art teacher has to finish her student teaching the first semester, and so we're going to have a long-term sub in that Deerfield slot for while Miss Janinski finishes her student teaching. And long-term sub's gonna be Miss Scobie. I don't think anybody's gonna be upset about that. We do have a couple teachers that have turned in their resignation. Jordan Height, she's a speech language pathologist, and Maggie Swanson, she is a second grade Deerfield Elementary teacher. Okay, now I'm just gonna try to hit the highlights here because it was, like I said, this meeting was long. They were talked a lot about the auto collision program, that building is not new. That building they built that's across from the bus barn. Metro is coming up with $3,000 worth of $300,000 worth of equipment and stuff to put in there, and an instructor to teach the auto collision class. It's going to be one of those dual credit classes, so they're going to get college credit and high school credit for it. Um, Also, so that's that, and that's mentioned several times through here, so I may bring it up again and then skip past it. There's a second ag teacher that has been hired, so hopefully we can bring that ag down to aught a little bit. Um, buildings of the future. They did touch on that. There wasn't a lot said on it. I feel like it'll come back up in later meetings. This is where the kids are gonna build a house. Um, there is carpet going in Ott School, and this is the final carpeting that I think that had to be quoted out is for the consumer science is 19,000 and the media center is 18,000. It's coming out of the building fund. It was approved. Then Ott will have all brand new carpet. From the way they talked, the only place that was recarpeted was 8th grade hall. And the reason why or I don't even think, oh, yeah, it was the 8th grade hall because it flooded sometime. Other than that, all that carpet was original carpet. So it's gonna be different now. Um, they have approved to improve the exterior lights, and walking out of that, board meeting last night is very apparent that there's a lot of exterior lights that need to be improved upon. They even mentioned, as they were talking about this, was the high school, parking lot lights, so improving those for the high school. Oh, I didn't realize I didn't change my background, but I hope you guys enjoy the beach. Um, also, that was a bid of $90,800. Auto scrub for Ott, it's a floor scrubbing machine is what it was. $8,700. From what I understand, it's a more ride-on type. You ride in the back of it. It's not a sit-down ride-on; it's a stand-on ride-on to scrub those floors. There's a larger unit. The high school needs a larger unit. When they're able to get the high school larger unit, the high school has a couple of small units that just are not big enough for the high school that they will send down to some of the lower grades, that smaller buildings that can use those. Uh, the welding, there needs an air filtration system for the welding lab. So that's gonna be $46,000, and to install it's gonna be $24,000. So you just gotta really filter out the air or lack of air, the mess that welding causes. Again, the automotive is mentioned here again. Um, oh, they also mentioned with automotive that the Metro has got a Perkins grant for $100,000 that's going to help with more supplies for that automotive repair class. Um, they said that right now there's 34 high school students that have registered for that collision class. So there's going to be two blocks. There's going to be like auto collision 1, auto collision 2, or repair or whatever they're calling it. They're needing to work on that building that they're going to have the auto repair in. They need wall panels, which they said is $33,000, and they need a lot of electrical work, which they said is $24,000. So they're talking about receptacles, bay lights, receptions, 220s, and so on. Generator was mentioned. Um, so lots of stuff needed for that building, but it's still a lot cheaper than building a new one. Reach Church has offered services to clean up in the fall. So they want to get the community involved and to come out and work with Reach Church and clean up the um schools and get them ready for the fall. Auxiliary, the HVAC for the auxiliary gym went in Friday. It should be up and running sometime this week. So they do have that in after school closes, then they're gonna put the air conditioner on the big gym. Kitchen equipment. It seems as though there was a dishwasher that was purchased for the high school for $6,600 from the food service fund. The kids' lunches are going to increase by 10 cents. Whatever they are right now, they're going to increase by 10 cents next year. They did renew Tyhar's contract for food service. They are also moving to a different school messenger system. They talked a lot about it. It's going to be like $9,750 for setup, and then an annual $18,200. It's going to have the web, the school messenger, new apps. It's also going to have two-way communication. So that money's going to come out of the general fund. 800 Chromebooks are going to need to be purchased. If you remember, it was about 3 or 4 years ago, believe it or not, that we had COVID, and we got a big grant from the federal government to buy a big lot of Chromebooks. Well, those are now going out. We need to resupply those, and that was just a big allotment that we bought at that one time. So that's gonna be like 800 Chromebooks we need at about $280 a piece. So we're looking at $224,000 for that. Ballot cloud services for the library, they're gonna check out books and check them in different or something. I'm not 100% sure, but we've got a $9,200 setup fee and a $6,200 yearly fee. Lots of new technology happening this year. Map testing. It seems as though the state of Nebraska has always paid for our map testing, and they are not going to pay for it anymore. So we're going to have to pay a $21,000 testing fee or purchase it or however you do maps. And that's for grades 3 through 10. Amplified CKLA language. This has been, I've seen this on the internet. I've seen this on Facebook being batted around, both good and bad stuff being said. They are going to revisit this in the June meeting. So it's a pilot. So if you're interested in saying something to the board about this pilot program for the CKLA language, the amplified CKLA language. Cransfield washout issue. It seems as though there's some washing out going on and they need to get that repaired. And they feel like that's going to be about $10,000, or maybe they I guess they may have bidded it out. I'm not sure. I've just got $10,000 here. Arbor Park, the Howl Room, it needs to be repainted, $5,300. There has been emergency leave pay. The teachers that were affected by the a tornado that lost their homes or had super bad home damage, they have had leave and they have been being paid. It's an emergency leave, and that was also approved by the board. They talked about a Spanish teacher for Ott, but this Spanish teacher, I guess, needs a visa to be able to work here, and the visa would have cost a district $20,000, and the board said no, not at this time. They talked about Bowers School dealing with their hiring and their paperwork. So the new teachers aren't getting all their paperwork by mail, like they can do it more electronically. And so that was purchased. There's a $50,000 increase for admin wages. And I feel like that's across all the admin, not just one or two principals. And that was your school board meeting. Thank you. You have a great day.